Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rime of the Frostmaiden, Icewind Dale. We're going to keep reversing that. Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Hey, look at those wonderful people. Say hello, wonderful people.
Hello.
Oh, you mean us?
Hello,
hi.
hi. And hi.
Oh, we had one wonderful person and three on the back way. Anyway, before we begin tonight, this afternoon's game, if you're watching on the Pacific Coast, West Coast, words. We have some announcements. First of all, we have our sponsors. We've got Birds of Paradise. They make all these wonderful bird color themed dice. They just released the Prickly Pear Arizona something, Prickly Pear Margarita. There we go. Prickly Pear Margarita. And I think they're in the literally like last few days of their Kickstarter. They're already 100% funded, but if you hit those stretch goals, folks, we're all gonna get some beautiful bird pins, little baby birds on top of dice. It's fucking cute. Yeah, get demonetized in the first 3 minutes. Pow. I censored myself. It's all good. So go check that out. It should be popping up in the chat right now, or if you're watching this on YouTube, which we do video on demand on the YouTube, I'm pretty sure we put links in there. Anyway, second sponsor to this afternoon is the Nord Games. Nord Games, they provide you all of that supplementary material to make your games awesome. They got books, they got decks, and now they're about to get miniatures. So check out Nord Games. We are playing here with the Nord Games luck deck, unless did Thomas put it in? Nope, Thomas did not put it in to this campaign. So yeah, there's no luck deck today. But usually when we have the luck deck, if they rolled a natural 20, they get a card advantageous to them. And if they rolled a natural 1, they'd give me a card that's disadvantageous to them. I can words. Anyway, those are our sponsors. Pretty light in terms of show announcements. I was reminded by Thomas through Amy that we are halfway through the month, and the tavern upkeep, I believe, is halfway full for this month. So thank you all so much for keeping up the support and helping them keep their lights on, because I'm at home and my lights are on, thankfully. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. I think that's it. We have our normal shows. We have this right after this at 6 p.m. We have 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have Call of Cthulhu.
Words and numbers today, James.
Sorry, what cannabis?
Continue.
We're starting off great. I'm not used to the afternoons, folks. As you can tell, usually actually this is right around my nap time. Anyway, yeah, we have Call of Cthulhu Mondays. We have Dragon by Spire Peak and Chaos Agents, as well as Call of Cthulhu. They're in the final stretches of their campaigns, their first campaigns. So keep an eye out to see how it all comes to an end. But right now we are just starting because this is our second episode. And currently I do not see any bits coming into the chat. I feel it's recompense for the way that I did Monday's game. But
I mean, you said it. Well,
I mean, I said it. Yeah, I am fully aware. I'm very fully aware, folks. Yes, but there is nothing coming in the chat. So that is it for announcements and bits. And if they do come in later, I'll be sure to call them out. But for now, let us get into this afternoon's game of Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden. And welcome back. That very own animated intro was created by our own Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Right now, Thomas is doing the fundraiser for dogs. It's pretty great. But unfortunately, that means Thomas is not here. That's another thing I forgot to mention. As you noticed, there's 4 players instead of 5. Thomas is gets to stream dogs, but not play with them, so it's very unfortunate. Our heart goes out to Thomas. But you know whose heart goes out to the players? Tamago Tora is giving 500 bits to the party.
Yeah,
Shoot
thank
da
you.
whoop, boom da bam. And I'm pretty sure y'all had 4 left over. We'll say 4 left over from last week. So you all have a 5 total. And since Thomas isn't here, you basically get 1 extra to be used among you 4. Yeah. All right, let's get into the recap. So, our adventurers began in the Wet Trout Inn on the furthest eastern town of 10 towns, East Haven. They slowly coalesced one after another. Renner Voladath, a Triton of great repute. Amoa Tua Anzulan, a Goliath of a very jovial nature. Azar, who at first folks could not understand what this creature was with how much bundling of furs were wrapped around her. We also had Elspeth Linkvist, a half-drow, half-human cleric wandering the north in search of her father, as well as our very own Donovan Chambers III, gentleman rogue, joined them all together within the Wet Trout Inn. They had some tea, they got to know one another, they learned a little bit more about 10 towns and how Oriel, the Frostmaiden, has cast a never-ending winter on the surrounding land. And after listening in and noting that some folks are being sacrificed by the larger cities, they were approached by a dwarf named Hlyn Trollbane, who asked them to go and hunt down a serial killer who seems to be murdering people within the larger cities of 10 towns. Our compatriots here questioned a little bit about, how do you know it's this guy? And well, Hlyn being they actually didn't ask what Hlyn does, but Hlyn assured them that their man, Sefik Coltro of the Torg's shipping company, is the man that she's hunting. But on the older side, she's asking some of our younger compatriots to hunt them down. So they began to leave East Haven, not before picking up a few new friends. 3 Axebeaks. We have Ricky, we got Snowflake, and we've got
Boulder.
Yes, Boulder, Ricky, and Snowflake. They mounted these new Axebeaks and made their way along the east way. And then at the fork in the road, they headed south towards Goodmead as their premonition and quick investigation told them to go. As they made their way south, the sky began to darken and the winds began to pick up. And as their last bits of light from the twilight sun crested around the edge of the horizon, they were assailed by 7 or so wolves. Quite handily, though, our team of adventurers quickly put them down, leaving one to go run off into the woods. And that is where we ended last night. And as you 4 are standing there, Donovan Chambers III has taken off his jacket and is trying to dress some of the wolves to take any bits of stuff off of them. Since we don't have a Donovan Chambers III, would anyone like to roll a d20 for him? See how well he can dress
I'm happy to, since we were sharing an axe beak and nobody else has said anything. Just a straight D20.
Yes. Ooh. Okay.
You're welcome, Thomas.
You're welcome indeed. As you four see Donovan Chambers, jacketless in this freezing winter, just with uncommon knowledge of Arctic wolves, just like, and within a matter of 30 minutes, gets a good amount of pelts, and I think he just wanted the pelts. Grabs up the pelts, puts the jacket back on, and stores them away in his packings. But you four are standing there. The wind is beginning to pick up more as the twilight sun has left. Those without dark vision, by the way, it's beginning to be really hard to see.
Okay, so can we please leave? It's getting colder.
Yes, I agree. It is getting a little colder. How far away, James, from Goodmead?
I would say you guys are about halfway in between the intersection. So if you are looking at the map, right around there.
Can you do that again? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sort of like cover my mouth and just like nod at the group, having been affected by this booming voice. And I go to attend to Boulder.
And Boulder's not looking too hot, but isn't the worst for where it's you can easily continue to ride Boulder where it's not like he's limping towards the finish line. And as you continue to cover your mouth, Amoa, you feel that tingling in your throat. About a minute later, just kind of disappear.
I just kind of make like little sounds, just kind of test. I turn back to the group. Hi.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel better now.
Gas?
Yeah, you could say that.
So is anybody else hurt? Because as my arm is still like gushing blood from a bite mark. Does anybody else need anything?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you all right? Do you need a moment to dress your wounds?
Oh, I'll be fine. And I just sort of wrap my hand and like run it down my arm, and as I do, like it sort of just patches up as I do a little cure wounds on myself.
Ooh. Fascinating. Well, I do agree with Azar. I think perhaps we should continue making haste towards Goodmead, I believe.
Goodmead.
To Goodmead?
To Goodmead.
We're taking the axe beats to Goodmead. Wonderful. Perfect.
All right.
And then I think Azar you were driving Ricky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll hop on the back of Azar's, or Renner will hop on the back of Azar's Ricky and kind of be like, to Goodmead, and then like attempt to like dig my heels into Ricky like he knows what he's doing. Clearly Azar was the one that was skilled with it, but wants to feel a little, in control.
Mm-hmm. And as Donovan joins you, Elspeth on Snowflake, Amoa on Boulder, you two begin to follow?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he's like, as they run through, and let's see. I think everybody. No, nope. Azar, you do not have dark vision, right?
Yeah. I will turn it back to Renner and ask him, this. I'll pull like a copper piece out, and I'll cast light on it, and I'll just ask Renner to hold it for me.
Very well. And then Renner will hold the.
Thank you.
It was copper. Yeah, I'm just kind of.
Just a copper piece.
Sure. Be doing this as they continue to ride along.
And Amoa, as the dark was starting to encapsulate your vision and all you could feel is just like snowing, pelting, you all of a sudden see a little beacon out in front, and you're able to see the silhouette of Snowflake slightly to your far left with Elspeth and Donovan, but on the far end you see Renner and Azar leading the way with the light.
Sweet.
So that is most helpful as you all begin to move.
I think if Elspeth sees the light spell go up, she'll immediately be like, oh, I could also, and she'll cast her dancing lights to create like a little bit of a trail for us to follow so we can stay together.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, so 4 globules of light begin to levitate around Elspeth, and Amoa is just like, all this light is now around you, and you're having a much easier time navigating with Boulder.
I was going to have an LSD trip, but okay. That's cool.
And as you three, or as the 3 Axe Speaks ride, who would like to roll a D10 for me?
I'll do it.
A 4.
Woo!
Okay. And as you move along this pathway towards Goodmead, the winds pick up more and snow begins to encapsulate almost all that you see as you 4 and 5 find yourself within a blizzard. Who would like to take on, I guess, navigating? I know Azar is in the front, but with the changing conditions, is there anyone who wishes to?
Is this
navigate?
blizzard bad enough where the Axe Speaks cannot continue, or they will need to be walked as opposed to their own? They're
able to continue, but your visibility, even with the lights that you provided for one another, is dimming, or not dimming in the sense that it's getting smaller, but it's like it's hard to see as the snow is pelting down. So who would like to lead?
I've got +2. Anyone better than that?
Are we using survival? I've got +4 and the map.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. Elspeth, take the lead.
The person with the map leads the way.
I mean, I'll give the map to somebody else, but I just wanted to state that I do
Take
have a map.
Yeah.
Map and light.
Very good. In that case, I would like you to make me a, let's see, survival check, please.
Watch as I totally biff it after all that confidence.
No, it's good.
By Elspeth taking the lead, you, Amoa and Azar, as well as Renner, you begin to follow in suit, and you continue to ride forward. And in about an hour's pace, you felt like you should have been at Goodmead by now. But with the lack of a direction and the road itself kind of being erased from being seen, you find yourself an hour into a long blizzard.
And Elspeth's the only one that knows this at this point, correct?
Everybody by now is like, we've been riding for a bit, and we haven't reached Goodmead yet.
Guys, at this point, I'd take any mead. Just get this out of. Is there shelter that we turn around? Or feels like we've been riding. My ass hurts.
I don't think we're going to be able to turn around, but if we think we should stop and try to wait it out, I don't really know.
Maybe we can give it another shot. Work together, maybe try to find where the road is. I don't think we should stay out here. It's terribly cold, and it's not going to get any better, I think.
Elspeth, I'm sorry. Do you happen to know how long these blizzards would last in this area? I know you have some notes on the region.
Well, that's the thing. The region has been encased in a permanent winter, so I don't know that they ever really stop. They just sort of move.
Wonderful. Well, I personally am fine in the cold, but would probably like to find some form of shelter to see if this passes over in a moment. Again, not for me, but for these beasts that we are riding. They seem to be slowing. Perhaps maybe we should give them a moment's break.
Certainly.
I know we can't see anything around us, James, but do we even know if we're on the road? Is there a way to...
You could make a perception check, but it will be at disadvantage.
Okay. Can we all do that?
Either one person can roll with normally, or two people can roll with disadvantage.
Okay. I have +4 perception. I think Elspeth, do you have that as well?
Something like that. Same.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
I'll provide Renner the assist so that he can roll normally.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. No.
Both of you with your eyes looking out, and both of your eyes very much adjusted to dark places, are able to look around. And unfortunately, with all the snow that is happening and not knowing how far you've drifted from the path, it's kind of hard to make out whether the road is technically underneath you or if it's further away.
Well, do we see any type of... I know we're in the woods, I'm assuming. It's like a woody type thing?
You're not within the woods. You are kind of more out on the open area.
And no signs of... Well, yeah, probably not.
With the 16, you do see a darker silhouette a little bit off to the distance.
Let the group know.
Moving or stationary?
Currently stationary.
Well, everyone, I mean, I can't see a thing, but I do see in the distance there may be some form of shelter that way. Perhaps we head that way?
It's as good a plan as any to me.
Perfect.
Works for me.
And then
Nothing
grab Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky's what is this called? Not bit, bridle.
Bridle.
Yeah, bridle bit.
And just start leading towards it.
Yeah. And are the rest on foot as well, or going to continue to ride?
How far away is the thing?
A little hard to tell just based on obscuring of the blizzard, but it is you can see an outline of something slightly darker than the rest.
Maybe we should just ride them up.
Yeah, I haven't jumped off my axe beak. I'm actually just like sort of clutching and taking notes or observation of the other two axe beaks.
Yeah. All right, Renner can take Ricky, and I can hold on back, and he can just lead us.
Okay. Elspeth is going to continue to ride with
a 4'9", trying to just leading the way in a blizzard. It's like so stupid.
If Donovan and I staying on Snowflake doesn't seem to be causing us to drop too far behind, then I will continue to ride. If Snowflake seems to be slowing too much, then Elspeth would probably get off and lead.
Because of their large splayed feet, the axe beaks are quite fine navigating on top of the ever-growing snow. Renner, at the current moment while you're walking, just make me just a dex check.
Oh, yes, Axpic sees fish.
15.
You trudge through the snow, and thankfully with your lighter frame, at no point does it ever get to like chest level, but you are having to lift your feet up, and you just watch as Snowflake and Boulder kind of just are going past you as they walk, and you're just trudging through.
I mean, ego-wise, as like I feel like Azar and Ricky are being polite and staying behind, but as they start to like lead in front, and he feels the bit go in front of him, he'll just be like, and then he'll kind of try and do some type of fancy jump onto the back of Ricky again.
Okay, I'll say fancy jump. You're able to get up, but you're up, and then you three. The three axe beaks ride toward the structure, and it starts to get more defined, and you look at it and it's just a large boulder.
Well, maybe we should take shelter under the boulder there. Little fire by the boulder should give us enough extra heat, I think, if we need to rest, and if the wonderful axe beaks need to rest too.
I'm game for that.
Is a boulder like on a hill or something, or just in the middle of a field?
Just kind of in the middle of the field, and you do see some smaller rock formations, but it was the boulder that Renner was able to pull out.
I'd like to look around and see if there's anything else here.
All right, make me, I guess just a perception check for now. Unless you're being more thorough, then it will be investigation.
No, just see if there's anything to see.
11. So you start to make your way around, and you notice there was some shifting of the snow, but it has been since the blizzard has come in. It's very small in terms of difference, but there used to be something around here.
Okay. I don't see any other creatures or anything, right?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
While Azar is looking, Renner will hop off and then start to attempt to make a fire in the downwind area of wherever the boulder is.
Okay.
I'm observing this. I'm like, do you need a hand, or you got this?
I'm pretty sure I've got it, as he's trying to do the flint.
So
Again, he doesn't know anything about fire. So
I'm like, oh, okay, good luck. And I turn away, and like kind of adjacent, but like just out of his periphery, I cast create bonfire. Like,
and you cast that, and Renner, as you're chipping away, just say,
Goodness, are you all right, Renner?
yes, I'm quite fine, thank you. And then he'll kind of look at the flint.
and I look over, and very genuinely, just like, you're trying, like just really encouraging Renner. Like,
oh,
it's not a competition. The bigger, the better.
Yes,
I think it's Azar comes back around now and sees Renner making fire, and he sees fire. It's like, oh, good job, wonderful, thank you.
Oh, yes, well, of course. And then he'll just confusingly put away his flint, not understanding what just happened.
I just shoot a wink over to Azar. Elspeth, can we maybe look at that map again, right here by the fire?
Yes, of course.
Perhaps get
pull
a
out
better idea where we are.
Yeah, pull out the map, spread it out, and just kind of be like, well, based on how long we traveled, I think we must have been in this general area when the wolves came. But after that, I don't know what direction we pivoted off to. I don't think we've backtracked, but I don't know if we're anywhere near the road. I would assume the boulder means we're not directly on it, but who knows?
Well, we're not in the forest, and we've got rocks all around, so we can't be on the river. So we know that much at least. Somewhere between the forest and the river.
Well, what say if we take a short rest in this type of an environment, will the axe beaks be able to take a short rest too and get back there? Perhaps maybe we should try and get a quick moment's rest so that we can and see if this storm will blow over, perhaps.
Sounds all right to me, but I do think we should all agree that if it doesn't pass in, say, an hour or so, that we should just keep moving. It can be very dangerous to stay still too long in these sorts of extreme conditions, especially for those of us who aren't sort of immunized against the cold.
I am so sorry. I forget that not everyone is immune to the cold and immune to these type of conditions.
No, quite all right. Wouldn't expect you to know all of that. Anyway, yes, maybe sit for an hour. I will reach into my pouch and find some of the fish that we had for the axe beaks and feed them to try to stay in their good graces.
And they've nestled quite firmly into near the boulder, and they kind of made their own little clique away from you, Five, where they're just axe beaks over here.
Hey, click, huh?
Staying, like, they're huddling together and very much staying warm.
Popular girls' lunch table. Excellent.
It is, yep.
Mean beaks.
The
On
mean
Saturdays, we wear white.
Well, why don't I go ahead and just keep an eye out just in case.
Okay. While this hour rest is happening, Amoa, could you make me a perception check? Keeping an eye out. Ooh, nice. 16.
Ooh.
So as you stand there looking about, and it's despite the extreme conditions and the roaring wind, there's almost a sense of I guess peace for you, because it's not incredibly cold for you. But the wind is blowing, and aside from your compatriots, not a sound. And the hour passes by, and the blizzard has yet to abate.
Sort of turn back to the group and like, we ready to roll again?
I suppose if we must, we must. Yes.
Make a perception check, folks.
On that, I love it.
No disadvantage?
It was close enough for you to hear it. Ooh! Yes.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I have to check my modifier.
I know, I was just doing that too.
Weather, I guess.
There we go.
So Amoa and Azar, you hear that weird exclamation of a sound, and you look about and you see on one of the smaller rocks just like a little, almost like a small little person staring out from behind the rock. And then they hide.
Azar will wave.
They look. A hand comes out.
Just mirroring it. Hello.
Sees you. Waves a bit. Comes out from behind, and you notice they are very small, like maybe this big, as big as one's head, and they have straw atop their head and across their body, and it looks like they have a small little mask, and they walk forward, and they look at Amoa and Azar, and they're like,
Amoa takes his hook necklace, his necktie, sort of extends it like friendly, like come on closer. Oh, they're so cute.
As you extend it, backs up a little bit, and then it ruffles around in its straw wearings and pulls out a spoon and just points it out in the similar fashion as you.
Does the rest of the group see this, or is it?
I was going to ask. I was going to say, do
Oh yeah. By this time,
what are you doing over there? Why are you waving at a rock?
Yeah, by this time the small creature has come up to Amoa and Azar, and you, the other three do see.
Oh.
I call everyone over. Look, natives.
I'll instantly look to Elspeth to be like, what?
Elspeth is riffling through all of her various pockets, trying to find the correct colored notebook where she's taken notes on like local creatures to see if she's got anything on this one. I think that's the blue. Is the blue in the left? I think it's all right. Flipping through, looking for any notes she might have on this thing.
Roll me. In this case, I think it would be more of an Arcana check.
Excellent. I have that skill. That is a 10.
A 10. You are unfamiliar with it.
Okay. No idea. They look I've never seen them before. Nope, nothing.
Right. Go ahead, Azar.
I'll just kneel down to him and I'll say, "My name is Azar. What's your name?"
It looks at you, and it kind of mimics leaning down, but still looking up at you. And looks over at Amoa, looks at the hook, looks at its spoon, points its spoon up at you.
I will take out of my mess kit a spoon and see if they want to trade.
Cute.
And despite having this masked face, you noticeably see in its body just like a little perk up, and it's like,
I'll trade spoons.
Trade spoons?
Yeah.
You trade spoons.
I got a giant spoon.
And this creature gives off a very ethereal, almost interesting sound of wow.
Do we all hear it or just as
everybody hears it.
Oh.
And then you just kind of see it disappear. And as it disappears, you see, despite all the snow coming down, you see just like a light flurry come down atop of Azar. And Azar, you have gained a charm.
Yay.
And I believe it's, I'll just describe it to you. Charm of Bounty. You have 3 charges, and you can expend one of them to create food and water, requiring no components.
Cool.
And there is no time limit on this.
Okay, that's going in my notes.
Best used by whenever.
Yeah, you can use it to create food and water spell 3 times. And once it's expended, you are no longer charmed in this sense of being given a charm.
Cool.
So yeah.
Like Amol kind of wilds out at this point. He's like, "Whoa! Did you see that? Did you see that?"
Yes, did. Writing everything down. Fascinating.
I wonder if there are more around here. Do you think there are more of these little creatures with gifts?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Ooh. Renner's gonna
I
run
looked
to
around earlier and I didn't see any.
Renner's gonna run to the boulder and kind of like look around. To
Make
see.
me a perception check.
16.
Frantically, you look for any small creature similar to the one you just saw, and you do not find any.
Ah, nothing's here. And then he'll walk back to the group. So like, well, let's move on.
That was great. And I sort of like trudge over to stomp out the bonfire and retrieve Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Find a
You
pocket
all-
to put my tiny spoon in.
Yeah. And it's a nice spoon. You see a little bit of carving on the handle. It's metal. And it's curious that a creature like that would have something that ornate. But
So use it
You
for
all hitch
tiny
up?
cups of tea.
I ask the ethereal. Wow, did it sound? Could Renner potentially recreate the noise with his sonar underwater capabilities to try and recreate some type of communication with whatever it was through a whistle or something?
Okay. Make me a performance check. See how well you can imitate it.
Okay. Before we leave, I would like to attempt one thing. I'm going to try and communicate with this creature. Hey. A 10.
A 10. You get the pitch right, but just that sense, it was very unearthly in a way that it was on this first pass to try and imitate it immediately is a little difficult.
So he'll wait for a second. Then she'll be like, bah, let's move on. And then start approaching Ricky.
I think
to hop on.
Elspeth would run up to Amoa, and before he fully stomps out the bonfire, she's gonna like grab torches out of her pouch or something and light 3 torches. So we've got one for each
Smart.
axe beak, so that we don't have to worry about keeping like the cantrips re-upped.
Mhm.
And also because wolves hate fire.
I observed this and nod knowingly.
So you all hitch up and get on top of your axe beaks and just go.
I don't even know which way we're heading. We're just like, let's go.
Very quickly.
Right way?
You all notice the torches you passed out with the wind and the snow. Very quickly, just go, and you are all in darkness.
I'll cast light on the torch.
Ah.
So Azar relights the path, and you are able to all see and not lose one another. But yes, in this case, I would like another person to roll a navigation check. And since you are starting to get a grasp on the terrain, one person can help if they wish, or 2 people can roll.
I'll help. My survival's only +2.
Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, I have a +4 to survival, but I rolled the last one, so if somebody else wants to.
No, go
Okay.
for it. You're
Okay.
on the back of an axe beak. I have no idea where we're going.
I just don't want to take away anybody else's chance to get us lost.
You're good. Elspeth is now our go-to.
It can't happen twice, right?
Oh, well, that was a 22.
Hey.
So
And despite not having any real bearing, just with the dark sky, the blizzard, you can't see any of the stars. You make an educated guess, and especially with your intelligence, you're like, I feel like we've been riding this way, and that was my bad. But if I course correct and aim it this way, we should be on the path to Goodmead.
lovely.
And as you continue to ride with your axe beaks just crunching through the snow, wind sweeping around you, as you guys make your way in a more northwestern direction, you begin to see the outline of trees. And looking at the map, you're like, if we just aim it a little bit more south, we should be headed in the direction of Goodmead. And thankfully, by this time, the blizzard has very much come to still a very brisk wind, but it's not obscuring so heavily with a bunch of snow. And as you make your way along with the map and with Elspeth's guidance, the first thing you notice, everyone except from wait, no. Yeah, it would be both Donovan and Elspeth on Snowflake. You just kind of notice that Snowflake tense up a bit.
I will tug the reins to slow Snowflake just a little bit, and just do that very standard, like, something wrong? Is everything all right? Sort of pet the neck, and that, like, I know you can't really understand me, but can you give me a hint?
And
I'll do a scan around to see if I spot anything out of the ordinary. No.
Go ahead and make me a perception check, please.
Hooray. That's a 6.
That's a 6. The concern with Snowflake and looking about the wind still coming a bit much, there really isn't any giving. You do see the trees a little bit to your right, and that is helping cut some of the wind. But you don't see or hear what exactly is making Snowflake a little tense. And as you point this out and stop with Snowflake, Azar and Amoa, since you're riding with Ricky and Boulder, you also kind of feel the birds fluff up a bit, give a bit of a tensing.
I sort of hop off and decide that I'm gonna just slowly lead them instead, as opposed to, hey guys, I think Boulder's not having it. Can they hear me actually? Oh yeah, the snowstorms ended. Yeah.
Are your birds also getting a little fluffy?
Mm-hmm.
Shh, that's all right. It's all right. Shh.
Dear Sir Amoa, do you mind leading Azar and my Ricky, rather? We would hop off, as you know, but the snow is probably quite. How high is it on Amoa right now? The snow.
Right now, Amoa right about the knee, so there's still a good 5 feet
so
sticking out.
If we were to hop off, unfortunately, it would be up to our necks. So do you mind leading Ricky for us? Thank you.
Absolutely. And so I'm all sort of can I just grab all the axe beaks and just kind of like lead through the snow? Yeah.
I think that was to you, James.
Sure.
Oh, was it? Yes, please. Quite.
Yeah. So
Elspeth, you're allowing Amoa to lead?
Sure. I mean, she and Donovan, I think, are going to stay on there, so she can also steer Snowflake herself, but keep up with the other two.
Okay.
Right,
Excellent.
so I've got.
Do you take Ricky and Boulder, and we'll
Ricky
follow
and
with
Boulder,
Snowflake?
I was like, what are their names again? Ricky and Boulder. Yes.
Notes. Yeah.
Ricky and Boulder.
Compared to Renner's time in the snow, Amoa, you were having a bit easier. Just due to height.
Yeah.
But you all continue to move forward, and I think, everyone except for Amoa, just passive perception wise, you start to pick up on what the axe speaks were puffing up about, and it's just a faint buzzing sound, just like zzz. And as you walk further, you start to see the shapes of buildings, and the buzzing sound as you approach continues to get louder. And
like buzzing, like insects, or like machine
Like
buzzing? What kind of?
noises.
I would say with what you have, more of an insect kind of buzzing, and it's just going zzz. And as you approach these silhouetted buildings, you get to see little faint dots of torchlight that, because you are now very much close to the tree line on the northern side to your right, the blizzard here doesn't feel as bad. And you can understand with the standing torchlight of the town that's approaching, you can ascertain that the woods help cut a lot of the wind.
I'll just rub Ricky on the head. It's like, it's okay. Bees won't get you.
And the act speaks because you keep leading them towards the buzzing sound, or still a little puffed up, and they walk with you apprehensive. It's only been a few hours with you all, so they're still like, again, apprehensive even with your direction. But as you approach, you see a small sign on the way that says "Good Meat."
Ah, success. We've made it. Thank you, Elspeth, for your guidance.
Certainly. Sorry about that little detour. But we're here now, and it's all right. It's all right. He keeps kind of shooing Snowflake along.
Renner will keep digging his heels into Ricky without Azar knowing, trying to get it to go a little faster.
Make me an animal handling check, Renner.
Great. 21.
Hey.
Well done.
You're finding the pressure at which point Ricky is moving forward, but not to the point where it's gonna like buck you off because it's getting annoyed with you.
Renner is very confident about that. Nah, yes. Mm-hmm. Like he feels like he understands these beasts 100% now.
And as you approach this town, it's significantly smaller than East Haven. You can already get the sense based on the buildings that you can see and like the way they're arranged. With East Haven, you noted that you could see the evolution of 10 towns with all the little pockets that if you were to go exploring. Goodmead, as you approach, has a very distinctive style that's based on the degree of detail is like, yeah, I wouldn't think one would change that. Because as you approach some of the buildings, you see massive heads of reptilian creatures, sharp teeth atop roofs. And you see serpents carved in wood going across the eaves as well as the roof points. And they're all made of wood, and they've got sharp teeth. They've got massive frills, all reptilian types of creatures in carving are atop these buildings, and you can see it in the architecture. Some of the posts have more of a serpentine look about them that have been carved in this particular manner. It is very distinct and very not what you get from 10 towns, especially everybody who has come here from Bryn Shander over to East Haven, or those who even came from the west from Bremen and Targus. It's like, this is different.
And is it ominous? Is it like an ominous feel vibe we get? Or is it more like, wow, look at the craftsmanship of this? Like the way that they look.
The heads are very dynamic, but at no point is it like, well, I mean, with the torchlight coming from below and you looking up at the these reptilian heads, you're like, that's a bit ominous, as if they kind of like had a flashlight below them.
Gotcha.
Seems like I don't think reptiles and things would live somewhere so cold. This is odd.
Yes. I would agree, Azar. I would agree.
Well, I mean, again, it wasn't always this cold here, or at least not year round. So it's entirely possible that there were reptilians or dragonborn, anything like that, who helped found the civilizations. I think I have notes somewhere, just fishing around for a notebook.
And if you
can't necessarily find it, but
meteorologist Elspeth, I love it.
If you're proficient with history or nature, go ahead and make me a roll.
I believe I am proficient in history. That would make sense. I am. Let's give it a shot. That's the 23.
Nice.
23.
You're rolling great today.
I am scared. If we get into a fight, I'm going to die because I've rolled too well so far.
You find that one notebook and you flip through and you're like, these are very distinct creatures. They are dinosaurs, specifically, as you know, from the island of Chult.
Ah, yes.
Far down south on the Sword Coast.
Yes. Ah, yes, Chultian architecture. It's very uncommon to find this far north. Island entirely full of dinosaurs. Tends to be more tropical climate, of course. But I can see how they could have...
Some from Chult came here.
How interesting. I wonder if these are built in homage to something, or if these were... Do you think they were worshipped, the dinosaurs in this area? We must speak with the local town folk. And then instantly start looking around for some type of tavern or some type of...
And you look around and like a lot of the buildings pretty small and have that similar flair about it. Some a little less than others where they don't have like giant heads, but you can see some of the influences, and it is a very homogenized architecture style. But you do see one building 2 stories high, and on the eaves as well as the top of the roof, immaculate sculptures of wyverns just hooked along the edges. And the other ones, they're sculpted and carved to look as they do. This one also has a bit of a paint job on it. And you can see some green verdant colors with some gold trim along it. Even in this low light, you can tell that it is, even with the snow covering it, you see some of the peeking through. And you're like, damn, that's very well crafted. And you see lights within it. And as you look around, you notice that the torchlight is all about too. And you see rounding a building, 1 torchlight, 2 torchlights, and then a train of people are walking through the main road of town. And you very particularly, I would say everybody, since you're now able to see it, there are 4 people kind of bearing a load, and then another blanketed thing atop of their load as this procession is starting to move towards your direction.
People, excuse me. And Renner's going to yell as loud as he can to get the attention.
Renner?
Yes.
That looks like a funeral.
Yeah, yes.
What is a funeral?
Someone's died.
And?
Don't interrupt. It's rude.
Oh.
How's that insect buzzing as we're moving forward?
Make me a perception check, whoever would like to. Okay.
Come on, lady.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I got an 18.
Wow.
Keep rocking that one, Azar. Keep rocking that one.
Azar, you're just reprimanding Renner at the moment. Whereas Elspeth, you're trying to like put out your ears, and you can see it or hear that it's much more centralized within that larger building with the wyverns atop.
Hate that. Okay, cool.
But as you 5 are standing there with your axe speak, you see this procession moving towards you along this main road, and the person leading is like, excuse me.
Move out the way.
Azar moves out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Steer
does
stuff like
Maul. Just gonna, like, give birth.
All the folks lead off to the side. As you do, this procession passes by, and a very similar sight for you all, since being within 10 towns. People bundled up the wazoo. It's hard to determine figures outside, but they are all walking along this procession with this blanketed figure being led down the main street.
I think Elspeth would actually sort of lean out and be like, "Are you in need of assistance? I'm a cleric."
Oh, I mean, not really of assistance. He's kind of already dead, but we're just going to say a few words, as he probably already has, but just going to say a few words as he's passing on.
Of course, I'll say prayers for him that Kalimvor and Jurgle will find him in favor.
Thank you very much. And that one person rejoins the procession, and you see, let's see, main road here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And yeah, if you see the meat hole there, yep, you can see as they're leading towards a very particular building right near what would have been the water's edge, but much due to the freezing nature, you can see just out of this town area the similar to East Haven, like the difference between land covered in snow and ice of a lake covered in snow. You can see a bit of a dock from where you're standing, and this procession goes over to a small building near the shore side.
Right.
I think I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll join Azar.
Cool. The other two?
Are we still intending to bring our axe beaks?
I was going to say, is there like a space where like hitching posts in this area, like where you can tie off?
You can see some hitching posts on the building with the wyverns.
With the buzzing, where the axe beaks hate. Perfect.
Yeah. You see them kind of stamping in the snow as you are closer to this buzzing sound, and they're just like...
I will bribe them with fish. We'll be right back, I promise.
I sort of take the boulder by the head and like smash forehead to it.
Mm-hmm. You tap foreheads, and despite the earlier goings of working with Boulder, the axe beak is starting to warm up to you, Amoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elspeth, do you toss a trout?
I toss trout to all of them.
You see them just trying to swallow it whole.
And Renner's still sitting atop. Ricky is kind of sulking after Azar has reprimanded him publicly in front of other people. Is just going to be like, and when he sees everyone start walking off, he'll just slide off of Ricky and start just following the group at a very small distance without saying anything.
So you 5 follow behind, and you see this procession, and you appear in front of a shrine. The shrine itself doesn't have the stereotypical like Western door style. It's more of a sliding door kind of deal. And it's just like opens out, and it's just a singular open room that goes out and back. And there's a large, not an altar, but a large table in the center. And it's hard to see, but there is a bit of iconography atop the front of the shrine, but with the snow that has accumulated there, you can't quite make out what it is. But you see the procession, the 4 folks lay down, the body still covered, and as you watch, you see just a couple or a single person say a few words and then move on, and some return back to the group, some just say their piece and then leave. But there are no tears. It's not like a it's just almost formal.
Whoever the last couple of people are to leave, I'll ask one of them. So, what happened? Did they just get old, or did they get sick, or?
Oh no, this is our former speaker, Kendrick Reelsbarrow. Kendrick Reelsbarrow. How familiar are you all with the I guess good mead economy?
Not very.
Enlighten us.
I guess you make mead.
Very good, very good. It's very much
I guess
in the name.
it's good.
And it is good, and thankfully we have been able to use that opposed to the more common knucklehead trout commodity that most of the other or 10 towns people have to ship and sell. And we're fortunate that we have our mead. Unfortunately, there was an attack on one of the shipments, and Kendrick decided to go and face this aggressor and, well, got a spear through the chest.
Oh, so it wasn't wolves. I was thinking maybe it was wolves. We saw some wolves.
Oh, no wolves.
Was it people from another town?
No, at least we don't have all the full information, but there was a sighting of a larger humanoid, larger than any human, larger than
Bigger
even
than
your
him?
friend there, pointing to a moa.
Yeah.
Yeah, larger than even him.
No.
Oh. That's really big.
Huh.
Shoved a spear right through him, and, well, he had to get pulled back or not pulled back, excuse me. He was found a couple hours later when he didn't return.
And where was this that this happened? Was it here in Goodmead?
It was the attack happened along the road, and Kendrick went into the forest, pointing over to the woods up on the northern side.
Huh.
Has whoever did this come back? Or?
I mean, not yet, in terms of I guess a repeated offender, if you're wondering, but it is unsettling, you know.
Have you, out of curiosity, have you ever heard of someone named Suffolk Caltrell?
I don't believe I have a Suffolk Caltrell.
Just curious.
Well,
is this common here?
He works for Torgs.
Oh, Torgs. Yeah, Torgs. They pass through every now and then. I believe they're headed over to Dugan's Hole at the moment. They were here just, let's see, they stopped in yesterday, stayed the night. There was kind of a blizzard at that time, so then at that point they headed over to Dugan's.
Ah. We're on the right
Think
track.
they'll come back through here?
I mean, they probably have to come back through here. Dugan's kind of a shithole, so yeah.
Is that far from here?
Dugan's, it's about let's see here. If you're going on foot, it's about 4 hours. But I see that you have a couple of steeds there. It'll take you a lot less.
Is there somewhere we could stay tonight?
Oh, there's some rooms in the mead hall. Looks up at the sky. I mean, yeah. What the fuck is night anymore? Am I right?
So we've been learning.
Well, then, it's going to be a few interesting days here in Goodmead, and I have to get back to work for me.
Wait, so if the speaker, who's in charge?
Well, we'll probably give a few days to let it settle with Kendrick being dead and all, and then we'll have to elect a new one.
Oh, I guess.
Who's next in line? Is there a natural succession or?
Oh, no. We ain't got no kings up here in Tin Towns. It's more of an election based off of the people. Whoever the people would like to have as their speaker would be chosen. And Kendrick, he was a good man, a joint of a man, and they point over, and while you aren't exactly getting exact height based off of him being horizontal, you can definitely tell he's in between Donovan and Amoa, and closer to Amoa in height.
Big boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a big man.
If we have any other questions, where can we find you?
Oh, my name's Murray. I'm around. Help out with mead production. Yeah, if you guys want some mead, you can go over to the mead hall, and points over to the 2-story building with the wyverns. Yeah, over there, there's got some rooms, got some mead. That's about all we got here.
That seems lovely.
Okay.
I think we.
Thanks.
Yes.
For sure. Anyway, stay warm out there. Catch you all around.
Thank you, Mari. Is it Mari?
Murray. All right. Starts to walk off.
So it sounds like
mead hall. Warmth.
get some good mead.
I'll meet you there.
So you'll beat us there, or you'll meet us there? Gotcha.
No.
Renner's gonna stay back a moment too, because he wants to kind of try and understand what is witnessed. Because we're left alone with a body in this shrine area right now, correct? Okay, yeah. He's just gonna kind of approach the body and kind of look down upon Wayburn?
Kendrick.
I'm sorry. Kendrick, real sparrow, right?
Yeah.
Elspeth's just gonna stick behind for a minute. She's gonna pull her incense out of her bag and like light a stick and do sort of her little prayer ritual. She is a death cleric. This is what she does.
So Renner's going to observe this moment. If Amoa and Azar are off to the mead hole.
Oh, I'll wait.
Amoa, are you joining Donovan Chambers over to the meat hall?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over and also check out on the axe beaks on the way.
They're getting used to the sound, but they're still a little not skittish, but a little shifty.
Alert?
Yeah. Yeah, you enter the mead hall. Renner, you look at the body?
Yeah, I do. I want to look at the body.
Okay, you pull back the fabric?
Yeah.
Cool. As a tall man, and yeah, he's close to Amoa's height.
Human?
Yes, human. Very built. It's a body that has worked a lot. Not like worked out, but like has seen a lot of work. You see a bit of some scarring. You see calloused hands, but a very, very square jaw. A beard that comes down here and fills out with the mustache. Short brown hair. Darker brown skin. Excuse me.
Can I lower the blanket to the wound? Because I know they said he was stabbed or he was thrown a spear.
And you pull it back, and it is a massive gaping chunk just straight in the middle of his chest Whatever pierced him was pulled back out.
Okay, and I just want to observe if there's anything that would be unusual about the weapon that was used, like poisoned or like some type of, if it was enchanted magical or something. He just wants to examine that for a moment.
Make me a medicine check, please.
19.
Nothing unusual. Whatever threw this, though, the spearhead is quite massive. Because on this giant of a man, taking up a good, 30% of its chest in and out, it's a large weapon.
All right, Renner will take that, and then in starting to kind of understand the customs and seeing what's happening with Elspeth, and he'll pull the blanket back over where he first got it from.
Mm-hmm. You return back to Elspeth.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then turning back to Elspeth, like, do you mind if I ask what you are doing with the smell sticks?
Yes, incense. It's just part of a human custom. We light it and we say our prayers to the gods, and it's thought that the smoke helps to lift our words to their ears in the planes beyond. I don't know if that's really how it works, but it's certainly a nice touch. As I explain this to Renner, I also want to look around the shrine, and I want to see if I can clock what god or pantheon this shrine is to.
Okay, make me a religion check, and I'll say with advantage just due to your nature.
Because I'm less proficient in that than history. That is a natural 20.
Excellente.
I'm gonna die.
I feel like roll with advantage. You'll probably get a 21 on the next roll, the way you've been rolling. Natural 21.
Oh no.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Cool. Tell me everything about the gods of this region, I guess.
All the gods. So you look about the shrine, and oddly enough, there isn't a lot of iconography even within it or around it. You do look at the sign, and I'll say because of your curiosity, you've found a way to clear away some of the snow, and it's a shield with a flaming sword, and you know it to be the Shrine of Tempest, a god of war.
Okay.
But other than that, the rest of the building, I mean, you do see like some chairs put off to the side and some tables, but nothing about this screams God of War.
Sure. Right. Yeah. With that, and with my my prayers to Kelemvor and Dragol finished, I will pack up my little incense kit and look to anyone who's still here and just be like, "Well, shall we go get some drinks and perhaps finally get out of the cold?"
Yes, please.
Yes.
As you three begin to make your way to the mead hall, that's where we're going to take our break. I'm getting better at making sure we have a fun place to give a nice stop. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for joining us so far. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Make your way to your respective restrooms as we shall do. Not number 2, because that would take a little while. But
be back in about 11 to 14 minutes.
Yeah. Unless you're regular, you know.
Discuss amongst yourselves whether Amoa has nipples or not, and we'll be back shortly.
There we go. Welcome back to Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden. I got it right this time. Yeah, our adventuring party made it into Goodmead, and they just witnessed a funeral procession while they walked around the Choltian architecture. Very odd within this frigid climate. But now they find themselves going to the buzzing sound that they hear within the mead hall. And as Renner, Elspeth, and Azar enter, you see Amoa and Donovan Chambers, the third, has found a table off to the side. It's a somber atmosphere, but those two have found a table, and there's already some mead out and about. Unless nobody wants mead, but then if everybody's getting mead, it'll be 5 copper per person.
Renner is not getting mead. He will order a tea, a hot tea.
Can I grab Donovan's arm and like use it to wave at everyone?
Oh, yeah, yes, yes. Hello, my friend.
To no one in particular, Renner will say, "Where with them?" as he's walking towards the.
There are some people at a table that you say that to.
Yeah. Strolling on over.
And you get to see now, with people with a little bit less clothing. It's not like the White Lady Inn where there's like very nice where you could stick your coats and everything. People kind of have their stuff about them. But yeah, you see quite a different assortment of people sitting about. The general I guess the word skin tone is more leaning towards the browner side. But you do see some intermix of some paler skins within there. Dwarf, human, you see an elf.
Zara tried to flag down someone to see if she can get some hot tea too.
Mm-hmm. And you're able to flag one of the waiters down, and he's like, how can I help you?
Hot tea with honey?
Hot tea. We can do honey. Hot tea. Have you ever had pine needle tea?
Pine needle tea?
No.
All right.
Is it good?
It's a very good mead taste.
Is there mead in it?
Oh, no mead in it, but it was a branding choice, to name the town Good Mead. But when one is a good mead taste, meaning that someone from Good Mead would probably like it.
Sure.
Yeah, Renner also blinks, just kind of like.
I'll have pine needle tea, I guess.
Yes, make it 2, and then he'll pull out a gold piece and hand it to him.
Alrighty. For the lady, would you like some mead, some pine needle tea, or?
Mead is fine, thank you.
All right. Well, this firmly covers it. I'll be right back. Walks off.
So, what did you guys find out?
Well, we were able to witness the body of Kendrick Reelsparrow. I noted that the weapon that has taken his life is now and then kind of show on his own body, quite large. So it was in quite a grotesque fashion that he was murdered. So there's that.
That is concerning.
Must have been something really big.
I'm sorry, I was a bit contained in my own thoughts. Am I to understand that this all happened at the same time that the Torgs was in town?
I don't know.
I mean, the body didn't seem particularly. It seemed like this was recent, but it's hard to tell with all the cold weather. So I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to pry.
Well, didn't he say the people from Torque are here a few days ago?
Mhm.
Yes, and they stayed the night.
Yeah, they left in the morning, this morning. So while y'all were in East Haven.
Great.
Mm.
That's what I thought I had. Just wanted to clarify.
He said there was the dwarf lady. She didn't say it was a giant person, right? It was just a regular person, the Suffolk person, right? And that was a really big hole in him.
Yes.
And she said, I point to Mo. She said the Murray said that the person that killed him was bigger than you.
Well, and Kendrick wasn't a small man either.
No.
Could also be 10 little men holding one giant spear.
Yes. Where is that tea?
As you look around, you see the waiter coming by. He's like, "Oh, sorry, had to make sure it was all nice and warmed up. Here you go." Places the teas, places a mead for Elspeth, and has a small little jar of honey, in a little wooden cup with a little wooden's what are those things? The honey
Little dipper.
Yeah, the little dipper things.
Yeah.
Inside. Add as much honey as you would like. Yeah, enjoy the tea. Thanks. Walks off.
Thank you.
Murray mentioned something about a Dugan hole. Maybe after we replenish, we can go investigate.
Yes.
Well,
seems to be.
He said they'll be coming back here from there, so we could just wait. They have to come back, right?
It's the most logical route to return back through here.
Well, we would probably meet up with Murray because it sounds like we have quite a few questions still for him in regards to the timing of the murder and also if and when they'll be coming back through this way. If that's something that we should do after our tea break.
So how are we going to figure out if Suffolk actually has been killing people? I mean, if we ask him, I'm pretty sure he's not going to tell us.
I've just assumed he has been a murderer the entire time.
Well,
Is that how they do it?
Was Helen sure it was him? Or she just think it was him?
Oh.
Pin seemed quite confident that he was the most likely suspect, but I think that's rather different than having explicit proof. Look, I don't really go in for all the, understanding how people's minds work. I'm just here to, say some prayers over some bodies and apparently read maps.
Well, when I guess we can talk to Torg and Suffolk when they come back. I mean, maybe unless you want to go chase after them, we might meet them on the road. But then we had to turn back around.
Personally,
or maybe they want us to do something about whoever killed the man. What's his name?
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
But there's no one in charge right now.
Correct.
Yes.
I do wonder, Momoa, it's just a thought, but it seems like here they favor the biggest and the most successful. I'm wondering if you should run for the next something of this town. I'm not quite sure what the hierarchy here is on land, but...
I love running.
Yes, I think this could be something. It does seem like they favor that, so I'll just put that out there, and then he'll drink his tea.
You drink this tea. Did you add any honey to it?
Not knowing what honey is, no, he has not. Unless he sees someone else put it in first, he's not going to do it. No.
So you drink the tea. I have had pine needle tea before. It is bitter and almost astringent. It is a very, I wouldn't say caustic, but it's very pungent in flavor.
It tastes like resin smells.
Yep.
It tastes like resin smells. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It tastes like pine sol.
Oh.
It's like, here, I'll take
Is
the
it
pot.
hot tea? I'll get kind
And,
of upset.
I will take both the teas, I'll pour them back together, and I will cast prestidigitation on them to make it taste like chamomile and get that back. Here, try this.
It's different than hot tea before, but it's still nice. It's better than whatever that was. It's like sewage.
Try some honey. Honey's nice.
Honey.
Yes.
Honey.
Just here. Put a little bit of honey in your tea for you and stir it up with my tiny spoon.
Aww. Thank you, Azar. Thank you. And then we'll try the hot tea, chamomile tea with honey. I don't think he'll understand because sweet things he doesn't get.
Yeah.
He doesn't like, so he'll probably be like, "Ugh. I preferred it
Not a fan of honey.
But,
Okay, well, take mine then.
Azar, this is going to be an entire campaign. Azar trying to recreate the first hot tea he's made for Renner.
Well, I was sitting here going, Renner, did they not there are multiple kinds of tea.
Oh, no, I was told that it was leaves and hot water. And...
Well, yes, it is, but there's all kind. You can do all kinds of leaves, and technically, it's only tea if it comes from the tea plant. Otherwise, it might be an infusion or a tisane. Or here, I've got notes about it somewhere. Pull out a notebook.
Oh, this is overwhelming. Well, thank you, Elspeth. I will come to you for all my tea needs. You are now the tea queen. Sorry, the tea queen. In my book.
Make that into a shirt. Tea Queen Elspeth.
Tea Queen Elspeth. It's just her going like this with her notebook. And then on the back is Azar with his little tiny spoon with honey dripping from it. Marketing materials. Yeah, so he'll take Azar's just the basic bland, well, not bland, but chamomile tea and start sipping on that, but trying to get the taste of that honey out of his mouth.
Elspeth will drink her mead. Is it indeed good mead?
Oh, you've had mead before, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's interesting because bees up in the far north, it's a concept that's hard to wrap your head around. And you don't know if it is because of the climate here is very unique. It's very earthy, and there's a crispness to it, which is maybe somehow influenced by the weather itself. But it's a unique experience. And as you five have been sitting here, the droning is very loud. And you do, if you look around, you do notice every now and then just like a zzz, zzz, and you look around and there's a few bees, some of them like crawling into holes and some of them like going into a back room where you don't see exactly what's there, but bees are just kind of flitting about, not stinging anybody, but just kind of
Going about the business.
Well, they're honeybees, right? They're not like wasps, or are they?
Oh no, they're nice. They're the nice bees.
Well, they're the nice ones.
Like, who's
That's
talking
good.
to us right now? James.
The nice bees.
Well, I still think that we should find out more information about this speaker of the town personally, but that's up to you, Amoa. I leave that to you if you want to.
I'll do it.
Yes. Excuse me. And then he'll turn to someone that's sitting next to us around the group. Excuse me.
And you flag someone, or you turn around and you tap someone. Quite bulky frame. And as she turns, it's a brown skinned woman, and she's got kind of like an undercut, just like on the sides basically, but the top part in the back is just like a long flowing mane that goes down to mid back and has been tied into a very intricate braid. And you see the shaved head, and she turns, and her frame belies her face, which is softer. There's a softness to it, not like just soft, but it's just like there's a nice light smile on there, thick eyebrows and brown eyes as she turns to you, and she's like, hello there, how can I help you?
Hello, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah, no, dearie.
Yes, hello. My friend Amoa here is quite a large and sturdy figure. I understand that your town may be looking for a new speaker. If he were to run for this position, how would that go about?
Oh, and then the person next to this woman just like, no. All right, I don't know who this person is. All right, but Ola Vesa here taps the larger woman with the braid. She's going to be the new speaker, and she's like, oh no. That's a bit If your friend wants to run, that's completely and totally fine. Yes. The other one's like, but no. All right, let me tell you something straight. Olavessa here has lineage all the way back to the founders of Goodmead. But trust me, if you want someone to be a speaker, it's her. Olavessa looks at you and like, well, he looks like a very charismatic individual. Gives away.
I just gotta like waggle my unibrow.
See, Olavessa. No. I'm sorry. My name is Olavessa. Pleasure to meet you all.
I'm Amoa.
Amoa, pleasure.
I'm Azar. Hi.
Azar, nice to meet you. I see you got some of that pointy. It's a bit strange for even my taste, but
I am Rena Volada. Thank you for the information. So, and this is Elspeth, and then introduces Elspeth.
Oh yes, good choice on the maid, and your mustached friend there. And Donovan Chambers like, Donovan Chambers the third. Pleasure to meet you. Oh, lovely to meet you.
Yes. Now, while we are waiting for the running, we recently discovered from, what was his name? Oh my gosh. Murray, that the so many notes, that the Talks Merchant Company has been through here recently.
Oh yes, they have.
Now, when are they to come back here? Do you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know their personal travel schedule, but if they're headed down to Dugan's, I mean, depending on the weather, they should be back by the evening, but if it's bad weather, they'd probably hold up in Dugan until tomorrow, depending on when the blizzards abate.
And this is the only route back towards 10 Towns from Dugan.
Well, I mean, yes, and we are all part of 10 Towns. But yes, I mean, unless they tried to go a different route, but that would be very dangerous. It'd basically either be going over red waters, and some of the ice there is a bit less than suitable. And if they went elsewhere, let's say to Targus, they would be going straight over the tundra. And you don't know exactly what's in the tundra sometimes.
Well, thank you, Olivessa. So I believe I have all the information I need. And then he'll just turn back if anyone has more questions.
Well, I say Elspeth will just kind of pop in and be like, we were terribly sorry to hear about the death of your speaker. How long ago was that? We saw the funeral procession.
Yes. I mean, that was only I believe yesterday. It was when the attack happened, and then Kendrick, being the man that he is, grabbed his weapon and chased straight into it, and they found him with a lighter and brought him back. Massive hole in his chest.
Do you know what killed him?
I mean, I don't know exactly, but it's a pretty the tales is that he has a very large creature, humanoid, standing, but yeah, just made a raid on our shipment of meat that was headed towards I believe it was Targus, that one.
How long was he a speaker for?
Oh, he's been a speaker for at least let's see, the man was 43, so oh gosh, it was a small little guy when he was so about 20 years. He started off pretty young, and was probably going to be a speaker for quite a while. Like, it was well liked, but
so he didn't have any enemies. He didn't have anyone gunning for him in any way, or
oh, not necessarily. No, Kendrick. I mean, to be fair, I mean, Kendrick was a man who didn't take anything sitting down, if you know what I mean. If there was a problem, he'd go to the person and talk it out. And talk it out he did first, but if fists needed to come to it, many people would not be going up against good old Kendrick. And then the person next to all of us is like, but Olivessa here could easily do it. You see, she's quite a brawny woman, very large shoulders and biceps and forearms.
Well, again, we're terribly sorry for the loss to your community, and thank you for the information. We're just
certainly
just traveling, passing through, trying to learn what we can.
Oh, certainly. I've never seen your faces around here, so I can either assume you're from one of the larger cities or you're taking a bit of a visit. Very strange place to be, but who am I to stop one from traveling?
Or running for speaker.
I mean, seriously, if you want to, and then the person next to all of us is like, okay, no. And like, they like have a little bit of a whisper, kind of like a
campaign manager.
Whisper argument, yeah.
I'm gonna seize this and sort of like, oh, they want to play, and so I like lean over to Renner and like,
what?
And then I look over to Elspeth, like really want to include her.
Sorry, is this some dialect of Primordial? I'm not fluent.
I mean, all of us is like kind of has her back towards you, but like the campaign manager dude is just sees this happening. He's like,
I start to get louder. I sort of noticed that. Now I got Azar in there too.
This whole campaign is like 100% comedy. At this point, it's like a screwball comedy from the 1940s, and I live for it. I love it.
So I'll just ask everyone quietly. So, I mean, we're already getting paid to avenge, the other people that are killed by. Maybe they'll pay us to kill whatever killed him.
Ah.
But there's no one in charge.
I'll just look to the campaign manager. Maybe they would have information on. Excuse me, Lass. Yes. If we, again, we are a traveling group of people of great renown. If we were to find who has murdered your Kendrick Real Sparrow, would there be any type of gain or notoriety for it on our end?
Oh well, And then all of us kind of pipes up at this. It's like, well, you see, the fact that our mead was stolen, we don't exactly have much in terms of compensation, but I mean, if you were able to do this, the town would be incredibly grateful, and well, you could have free lodging here or something. I mean, that would be a conversation for let's see, do they have a name?
Mary. Oh.
Who do they have any person for?
Steve.
Yeah, they haven't.
Steve in marketing.
Well,
Yeah.
they did not name the person unless I missed it somewhere. But all of us, it turns it's like, yeah, if you talk to Steve over there, possibly he'd be I mean, we and looks up at the mead hall. It's like we make all our mead here, and if we lose shipments to elsewhere, then it's going to be a significant problem. I could probably talk to him a bit, and again, I'm sorry, nothing in the way of monetary value or anything, but I'm sure we can reach a suitable compensation. And then the guy next to her say, "That's why she's going to be the speaker. All right, yeah, she knows how to deal with traveling band of adventurers giving eyes to a moa specifically.
Oh.
All right, good mead's next speaker right here." And all the best is like,
So,
Amo sort of concedes to that.
that's,
All right, well, mayhaps we will speak with Steve in a moment. Thank you again, Olivessa, for everything.
"Oh, certainly.
And turn back to the group. What would you all have us do? What do you think?
Oh.
Should we travel to the shit town
Dugan.
of Dugan, the hole, or whatever it was called?
Well, they said they'll be coming back here tomorrow if the weather's good. If the weather's not good, I wouldn't want to be traveling.
You just don't want to go back out in the cold, do you, Azar?
Very true.
I can respect that.
Well, in the event that they do arrive, how do we want to welcome them or not welcome them or approach them?
Gotta talk to them, right? I mean,
yes, talking.
we don't even know if he actually did anything yet.
It's true, and we're not really going to be able to do any investigating of that here because seeing as there wasn't a murder here, I mean, there was a murder here, but not related to those murders. It's a different situation. So, perhaps I'm being a bit altruistic, but doesn't it seem like perhaps we ought to just help them for the sake of helping them?
I'm 100% fine with that, yes.
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, I'm just...
All right, we just don't want to miss them. I mean, well, I'll turn back to Avessa and ask, excuse me.
Yes.
We're looking for the traveling merchant Torgs.
You just
we were told
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they stop through here on the way back, or do they just go straight through?
Well, they already made their I guess they did their selling here already on the way through. They kind of leave the less good wares for Dugans, and they would probably sell there in Dugans, and then depending on the weather, they might stay here, not really selling anything, but then they would make their way back up to one of the larger towns, restock up, and take goods about to the smaller towns.
Okay. Thank you.
Certainly.
Turn back around awkwardly. So maybe we should. I'll just turn back to the group. So maybe we just wait here in the morning for them to come back.
Yes. That sounds like a plan to me. I think what we should do is find some lodging, and wait for them in the morning to confront them with why or if, excuse me, they're committing these murders.
And if they say no, do we just drop it or?
I haven't got that far, but
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
We'll sleep on it.
Yes.
I have to ask, where you're from, do you sleep on water beds? Do you prefer something?
Sorry, that was Matt laughing. All right. Renner is just going to blankly stare at Amoa to be like, well, no. Like most aquatic animals, we're able to sleep with our eyes open in case there is danger afoot. But again, we don't get much sleep defending the continent from beasts of the sea.
That's fascinating. So then if you're on land, do you still sleep with your eyes open? Do they dry out? Do you have to, or do you have the third eyelid that comes in to protect and keep everything lubricated?
That is a very good question, Elspeth. How about this? When I fall asleep tonight, you tell me if my eyes glaze over or not, because I honestly have not known. My dreams are so vivid that I continue to just imagine myself protecting the seas as I'm sleeping. So I can't really tell when I'm awake or asleep.
Pulls out the green notebook, starts scribbling.
Amoa actually takes like a lot of interest now in all the scribbling that Elspeth is doing, and sort of like leans over. Oh, like,
I was to say, do you speak Elvish? Because if you don't, you won't be able to read my notes. You'll see what I'm writing, but you won't be able to read them.
Yes, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. So I'm looking over like, just taking it in like. I think he's more pleased that there's some like seeing it being written rather than actually understanding what is being written.
Totally.
So I guess we should get rooms for the night, or what do they call it here? It's always dark.
Rest.
Rest time.
Reprieve.
Like, well,
rest is good.
Just look around and see if I can spot someone.
Mm-hmm. So when you look around, you notice that Olivessa and her compatriot have left their table, and I would say a couple of you maybe clocked that Olivessa went towards the back, where more of the bees are concentrated. Their friend is now at the front putting on clothes and all that to go out. But you do see where she pointed towards Steve, the innkeeper.
Okay, I'll get up, walk across to her, and I say, "Hello, are you Steve?"
Oh yeah, my name is Steve. How can I help you?
We need a place to sleep tonight.
Oh, certainly. Right now we've got 2 rooms open, and you notice this very not broad-chested, high-chested, older half-elf. It's got just a slight receding hairline, bit of the point in the ears. Very proud standing it, but you see him trying to like yell over, and you get the sense because of the bees that are constantly droning, he's just like, so it'll be 2 rooms.
Right, yeah. 2 rooms.
2 rooms, that's how many we have.
Can we have them?
Would you like to have them?
Yes.
I see. All right, that will be one gold piece for the 2 rooms. The other
Okay.
4 can actually hear this across the hall.
Oh, we can.
Okay. I'll pay him the gold piece for the 2 rooms.
Thank you. All right, here's your keys. Now, don't forget the one that's on the furthest end. The door's a bit on the creakier side. So you might need to jiggle it a bit. You understand me?
I just nod
Alright.
enthusiastically.
Excellent. Just so you know, if you need anything, Steve will be here for you.
Okay.
Gives you a thumbs up.
He's like, that was very loud.
Yes, what was that? Yes.
I assume the potential for permanent hearing loss because of the constant buzzing. So sometimes you don't realize that you're Anyway, excellent. Thank you, Azar.
Yeah.
Thank you, Azar.
Mm-hmm. So, who wants a room?
Are we just drawing straws?
Are we going into rooms? Well, I shall accompany Miss Elspeth because she's going to document how I sleep this evening, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
give her another 1 key. I'll take that one.
Thank you, Azar. Thank you. Let me split this with you. I don't want you to be put out by
Oh yes, I'm happy
journey.
to contribute.
Let's see. How about this? I'll just give you 1 gold. Why not? And then tosses a gold at Azar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Elspeth, shall we to our quarters?
Certainly.
Is there a barkeep around here?
You see Steve.
Oh, it's Steve. Right. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
You guys closed?
Oh, why? Hello there.
When do you shut down? When do you pack away and leave? Or
Oh, that's the tricky part. Are you from around here?
No.
Are you from up in the Sword Mountain or Spine of the World?
That's right.
Are you from there?
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, you can probably see down here. It's usually night time. Well, basically, it's nighttime like all the time.
Uh-huh.
So it's a bit hard to determine when we shut down. It's kind of just a feeling. Like we get a bit of the twilight, but otherwise it's a very much a gauging process of like, I'm Steve. I feel a bit tired today. So I close it down.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Well, do you mind if I hang out here then until you're tired?
Certainly. I mean, look at how many people are just hanging around.
All right. I'm always just gonna decide to like hang out here and while just kind of stay observant.
Cool.
Like at the
All
other
right.
by the fire.
You sit by the fire. Azar, you headed up to your chambers?
Yeah.
All right. Donovan Chambers.
Yeah, I'll go to bed then. Yeah.
Yeah, Donovan Chambers the third will also join you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with Amoa downstairs. Amoa you're downstairs and you're watching. And you do notice you just start to notice that a few people are trickling in and out. It's very strange that just like a little while ago, like you were surrounded very much with people who look like you, and now it's just like everyone is much shorter than you. It's a very interesting sensation. As you're sitting there, you do notice as the door opens wide, a group of 5 of varying heights, just like cold weather clothes, very similar to what you've been seeing throughout 10 towns, arrive, and they start to strip down and you see a stockier one with very pale skin, bald head, massive red beard, a dwarf, and then a few compatriots behind get their clothes, cold weather clothing off, and they sit at a table, wave down Steve, get a few drinks. And otherwise, the evening is kind of uneventful. No music. The droning of bees just keeps going on.
I stride over to that table and introduce myself.
All right.
Hello, I'm Amoa. And on the way in, you might have noticed that you're missing a speaker if you're new here. I'm running for speaker. What's your name?
The moment you say you're running for speaker, you notice the other four on the table just kind of glare their eyes a little bit and look to the dwarf, who then looks up at you. It's like,
I take note of that.
so you're running for speaker.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think you're qualified to be a speaker of good mead?
I'm alive.
Did you just hear this, boys? And you see the other four just kind of look very like crony laugh, where they're just like, all right. That's a good joke. I haven't. Thank you. What was it? Mua was the name.
Amoa.
Wow, that was.
I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
Shandar Fourth.
Shandar. Nice to meet you, Shandar.
Nice to meet you.
And yours? And I sort of like point at the other four.
Mm-hmm. And you hear a couple other names. You hear, hi, my name's Funan. The other one is like, hey, my name's Set. The other one is Ronnie. The other one says, Train.
Train?
Yeah, Train. Trayne.
Gotcha. Like, well, nice to meet you, gents, and I hope you consider voting for me for a good laugh, huh?
Oh,
Can I get you a round of tea? Or,
we ain't drinking that pine needle shit, are we, boys? And they're like, no. Wait a second, you're actually running. This ain't no joke, then.
I just stare right back, like plain faced, and just let my like the middle of my unibrow twitch.
Well, if you are running Amoa, I wish you the best, because you're running against Shandar Fourth.
2 rounds of drinks, then.
As long as it ain't that pine needle shit.
You got it.
How will it take 2 rounds?
So I sort of signal to Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
how can I help ya?
2 rounds for this this party here.
All right.
2 rounds of your best mead.
Are you talking about our 10-year? That's gonna be expensive. Are you sure you want the 10-year?
100% sure.
100% sure. Boys, you're gonna be drinking good tonight. And that case, let's see. And you're just doing mugs for each of them?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Or
for the 10-year, let's say
versus a keg, you mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll do the keg. I get him a keg.
You want the cask of the
The cask, yeah. Cask of the good stuff.
Good shit. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to ask you again, tall man. It'll be 10 gold. Are you sure?
Yeah, and I sort of like brink, just plop it on into his hand.
Well, if I were a betting man, I would say this man may be the new speaker. Walks away. and you see him like have to. He has like almost like a little gurney kind of deal. Puts the cask on and wheels it over to the table with a little bit of effort. He has to kind of like haul it up. He taps it right there, right in front of everybody. He's like, all right then, enjoy. Walks off.
I excuse myself from the group and make my way upstairs to sort of rasp on the doors of my compatriots here.
Mm-hmm. Do you know which doors they went into?
No, I knock on every single door.
Roll me a D6. A 6. Okay. You knock on the door and make me a perception check as well.
Okay.
As you approach this door. A 10. Easy enough to hear because it's on the louder side. You hear heavy breathing and grunting. Do you still knock?
I wiggle the doorknob and if is it loose? Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Then yeah, with one sort of swift motion, I open a doorknob and sort of like say, Azar, Renner, Elspeth.
You say that as you see two men in a bed together, and they just like look at you and like, sorry, we're not renting.
I sort of back away slowly. Like, oh, very natural, and exit. Sorry.
All right. Roll me. Are you gonna try another door?
Yes.
All right. Roll me a D6, and if it's a 6, you know not to do that door. Well, yeah. Go ahead and roll again. Sorry. It's maybe interesting. If it just keeps giving you 6s, that'd be. What the hell? That is interesting. 666. What the fuck?
Have you?
We found the horror part of the campaign.
Moa, all of a sudden, a glyph appears below your legs. And no.
Well, everyone, pack
Any
up.
chance we just hear Moa stomping back and forth down this hallway?
Yeah.
As long with your passive perception, you hear just like the clomps of a large person like looking at it, like stopping in front of your door, and then moving to another. Like you just hear the shifting movement. Renner and Elspeth, you also kind of just hear the constant shifting in the hallway.
Yeah.
Is that?
I'll go to the door and look out. And like, we have this room, it's the squeaky one. And I'll like squeak the door like he said it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. Oh hey. Make my way over there.
And it's right across the hall from the door you opened. And you enter, and as Azar closes, it's just like.
I share with Azar and Donovan what I learned downstairs. What's his name?
I wonder how many people are running for speaker.
Shandar.
I wonder how many people are running for speaker.
I don't know, but he's got 4 others with him. I have 4 others with me. We need a tiebreaker. We should get the others in here.
Do we get to vote?
Hmm?
Do we get to vote? We're not from here. Do we?
It's a good question.
I mean, I guess if they let you run, they should let us vote. But I mean, we're not like part of the town. I wonder how the politics. And she'll just like start to wonder to herself about how things work around here.
Look over to Donovan. What's up?
Whoa, my friend Ink or Amoa, if you want to run, I think that would be great.
Great. I'm glad I inspire your vote of confidence, D.
I mean, certainly, my friend. Yes. I don't have enough of a backlog of Donovan Chambers.
If you
He just
become
removes his
speaker,
coat and
won't
puts
you
it
have to
back
live
on.
here?
Takes off his coat and puts it back on.
Oh, well, if I was speaker, ideally we'd figure out where these murders are coming from, right? I think that was what Renner was indicating. Unless I do have to live here, then maybe I might change the name of the town. Kind of lost in thought.
Was the mead good?
It was so. But I wouldn't go to a town named
So mead doesn't sound very good.
No, too many syllables.
Yeah. Their tea is.
Yeah, bad tea, so mead. Maybe I don't want to run for speaker.
They have a lot of bees. What about something with bees? They have a lot of bees.
They do have a lot of bees. Well, I should let you know that the gents downstairs, maybe we can get more information from them. They seem to have been coming in from some other place. I think some kind of info sharing might be helpful. They're also going to be liquored up by the time we go back down there, so maybe we'll get some more info.
Well,
is there? I look around the room.
To them more?
I'm sorry. What's that?
Did you want to talk to them some more after they were drinking?
Yeah, but maybe I was thinking maybe we can divide and conquer, bring everyone down and single them out. It sounded like maybe they were too much for me to handle.
Were they very big?
No, so I sort of described the one person I did kind of recognize, which is there's a dwarf.
Oh, you're much bigger than a dwarf.
He's tall. Yeah, but he comes up to my sort of like indicate my.
Makes you cough.
Yeah, does. A little afraid of dwarves.
Are you allergic to dwarfs?
I don't know. Allergic is it's a big word, but no, I just listen. Between you and I've been kicked in the balls by a dwarf, and
I didn't know they could kick that high.
He was on the table.
Oh, well, then don't let him stand on the table to be fine.
Great. I sort of look around the room like, well, where's everyone sleeping?
So it's a modest room, and Renner and Elspeth, your room is very similar. It's only 2 beds, has a nightstand and a candle there for you. But yeah, it's pretty. It's lodge feeling, but also very minimalist in a way. But at no point is it like destitute.
Did you want to go to sleep or talk with the dwarf and his friends?
Well, if we can get the other guys down here, I'd say let's go talk to them. They should be perfectly liquored up by now.
Okay. Come on, Donovan. It's like tug him out of bed.
Certainly. Pulls on his coat and is like, Donovan Chambers III is always ready for an interrogation.
Oh, okay. And I'll go knock on Renner and Elspeth's door. Like,
What? Yes.
Guys,
Oh,
come
that's
on.
where you were.
Well, I feel like, Alondra, you should say what we've been doing for the past.
So while you guys have been doing this,
Have you been-
Renner and Elspeth have just been sitting in the other room, like staring awkwardly, intently at each other, waiting for one or the other of them to fall asleep so that they can report to the other one what happens. Just sitting cross-legged, like facing each other on
Yes,
the bed, like
for the past
staring.
half hour.
Yes.
And you hear that knock at the door.
Go away.
I'll just open the door. It's like Amoa's met
Oh.
some
In the middle
people
of
he wants us to
scientific
talk to.
experiment.
Azar? Sorry, Azar, say that again. What?
Amoa made some friends he wants us to go talk to.
Elspeth, thank you so much for this. We will have to resume this.
Try another time. Yes.
Yes. Amoa, has he approached? Is he inside as well? Or
They're
No,
they're in the hallway.
oh,
Yeah, I'm standing by the doorway.
all
kinda like
right.
peering in.
What is this all about? What is happening?
I found another speaker runner,
Oh, a contender.
a contender. Yes, thank you.
Ah.
And being as you are my campaign manager,
Oh,
I thought maybe you should know.
right. Who is this? What is this?
His
Are they
name's
downstairs now?
Shandar.
Chandar.
Yeah, and I might have spent more gold than I intended to, but maybe there's some information. I hear my dad once told me that money buys information, so
Ah,
Oh, yes, terribly accurate.
oh, good. Dad wasn't wrong. And I sort of like look up to the sky or the ceiling being right in front of my eyes.
well, let us go meet this Shandar then. And then Renner, I was about to say Isolt. Oh my god. Renner throws on his vest and just and grabs the trident and then starts striding downstairs.
Okay. Okay, okay. So Renner strides downstairs, the others follow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
As you descend, Amoa's a little bit out of earshot due to the droning of the bees, but the other four do hear. You do hear the laughter. I will say this, but what they're laughing about, the other four do hear. It's like, it was a fucking 10 year. Did you see the eyebrow? And you just see them all laughing and slapping the table, and you don't know how far they're down the cask, but you got a good sense of how far gone they are.
Mm-hmm.
Elspeth will go over to the cask to like fill a glass, which is partly to try this mead, but also to test the cask and see, like give it a little bit of a rock or so, see if she can figure out how much of it is gone.
Are you doing this stealthily or just?
I don't feel a need to be stealthy about
Uh-huh.
it, so I'm just gonna go over and kind of like rock it a little bit, see if I can hear the slosh or anything, and
And you
Start
rock
fill
it a
it.
bit, and Shandar looks at you. He's like, "Whoa, that's that! Oh, well, hello there.
hello.
Hey,
Sorry,
are you here to drink with us?"
Oh, yes. My friend said he bought a cask for the group. I thought I should come see. Sorry, did I catch your name?
Aye, my name is Shandar.
Ah,
Froth.
Shandar. What wonderful. How's the mead?
Aye, it's so good, man.
Wonderful. Can I tap another round for everyone?
You're buying us another cask.
Well, I
Of
was
the
just going to
penny.
fill from what's left of here first. No need to get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, how we doing, boys? We all want another. Yeah.
I will start collecting cups to refill so that I can achieve my initial goal of finding out how deep in they are. I will also kind of turn and give like Renner and Amoa a little bit of the eyes of just the like, what did you do?
And as you slosh it a bit, it's about halfway down, and it's a solid barrel there.
Delightful. I will refill for everybody and just hand cups back. Have a lovely drink, gentlemen.
Wench, I want a hot tea. No, you don't, you shite.
You really don't want the tea. This is much better.
Why are you trying to steal my heart's desire?
Your heart's
and then you
desire.
just see them start to argue with one another.
Slowly back away.
Are you backing away uncomfortably, Elspeth?
A little bit.
Okay.
She knows she's out of her depth if this goes another direction, so she's like, gonna put some distance here.
Okay, so in seeing Elspeth kind of back off after staring intently into her eyes for the past half hour, kind of picking up on her, this feels weird vibes, Renner's gonna kind of approach the group and be like, I would like you not to make the lady feel uncomfortable, please.
I wouldn't want you to not be a fish.
Clever. So, Shandar, and then address the one who introduced himself as Shandar. It's like, Shandar, so I'm to understand that you are also running for the town's position.
Yes, I am. And if you don't run, you don't vote for Shandar Froth, that's a poor mistake on you, buddy.
Are you from this area?
Yes.
Do you reside in the town?
Yes. Make an insight check if you like.
Like, ooh. Okay. Insight. Got to get that insight check. Let me check on my... No, it's not that great. I've got a 4.
You got a 4.
Yes.
Seems like he's telling the truth.
Ah. Well, Shandar. Have a good night. That's all I wanted to know.
Right? Don't fall in the lake. I know that Knucklehead Trout would treat you like a brother, but don't fall in there. It's cold.
It wouldn't bother me, Shandar.
Ah, I get it, because you're poor fish.
In hearing the jibes of him being a fish, he's going to take his trident and walk past Shandar, his chair, and kind of like use the base of it to kind of just jolt the chair as he walks. Where are we, like, in reference to the table? Like,
so let's say this is the entrance area. The table is at like the front corner, and then the stairs upwards is like right about here. So your friends are kind of here, and so
I'd have to actually approach to do it.
You would, like, from your group, you would have to approach here, and if you want, Shandar is he's not back against the wall here. He's more of back to the inn. So his back is right now towards your friends.
Great. So then, I'm saying that he'll walk up and be like, "All right." At his last fish jibe, he'll walk up and be like, "Well, gentlemen, have a wonderful evening." And he'll like kind of approach the table to do it. And then when he spins to turn around, he'll kind of jibe the bottom of the chair.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to sweep it from underneath or just shake him?
You're muted.
Sorry, shake it, but just shake it, and I want him to kind of like wobble.
Oh, okay. Roll me just a straight strength check. $15. Yeah, temper your control enough where it's just like jostles him and he's like, whoa! Huh? Earthquake? No. Hey. Another one. As you as Renner walks back to the other four, you just see this group of dudes drinking it up.
When I approach the group
I'd
again,
like to,
go ahead. Yeah, go, Azar.
I'd like to go to the table, and I'll just mention, it's like, you guys do what? I had an idea, I say to the dwarves. See, we heard that something in the forest killed the last speaker. And if we go in the forest and take care of it, I think my friend Amoa will probably get to be the next speaker. What do you think?
Shander looks to you. And how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". So it's a little bit of up because he's in a seat. Looks at you, he's like, looks at Amoa, looks at your group. If you could kill what killed Kendrick, fucking sure be the speaker. I'm sure everybody would love you. But just so you know, Shander is loved by everybody already. And it won't change.
But just not brave enough to do anything, and I walk away.
Let's see if he actually registered that. He looks very confused. Looks to his compatriots. Let's see if anyone else noticed it. How drunk are you? They're all quite drunk. They didn't. Hard for them to just like register the insult, and it's taking them some processing time. Like there's a buffer. Just like.
Do we hear what Azar was asking and what he was saying?
Oh, I said it loud enough for anyone to hear.
Oh, okay. In hearing Azar's thing, he's gonna when Azar she comes back, Renner's kind of gonna be like, that was good. And then kind of I want to yell back to Shander, or just walk back to Shander and be like, excuse me, am I to understand
what the hell am I trying to drink?
Am I to understand that you know the creature that did this to the last?
You see a fucking hole in his chest, man.
But you know where the creature resides.
Well, he had to go chase it into the woods now, didn't he?
Have you seen it? Have you seen the creature? Well, then why are you going on about it like you have?
When did I say that? I said to your wee little friend that if Amua was the one who killed it, then yeah, sure, people might like Amua, but you can't be a real good.
Does anyone in the middle of Shander things turns around and is like, does anyone in this bar know who this gentleman is? Is he loved by all in this town?
I'm more in the back goes, no. Gotta like, no.
Roll me an insight check, Renner.
While this is going on, could I sneak back over?
Go ahead. And if are you sneaking, you can roll a stealth check if you'd like. Because I feel like there's something you want to do. 17. By this time, it's getting late. Steve is still up, but he's gotten a little on that tired side as you clock him. But then you clock the other patrons, and you ask that question, and they look at you, and they're like, looks down at their cups. Shander's like, don't you want Shander? Aye. That's it. fish boy.
But it was hesitant. It was a hesitant.
There's some hesitation. I clock that stealth. You get over there pretty quietly, Azar. Yeah, but hesitant.
Well, while they're busy, I would like to cast Prestidigitation to make their ale taste like the pine needle tea.
Our group is so petty. I love this. I love this so much.
Okay. So you see them, and like this interchange is happening, and you see Train go for a sip, and you just like, what the hell? What happened there? What does my meat taste so bad now? And they're like ribbing him. It's like, oh, he's.
Aw, can't handle your mead.
Amoa, can I do I see Azar do this? Do I know like this is
no one sees Azar do this.
Oh, okay, right on.
But you just see them all spitting out their meat, and Shandar turns back. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is best meat we've had. What the fuck did you do? Slides back the chair, stands up. What the fuck did you do to my meat?
Who's he pointing to?
To you.
To me?
Because he can't see Azar.
I
He's
didn't
coming
do anything.
at you like chin height.
He's chin height on me?
Yeah.
So I can look down?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So Renner getting a big chest. He's gonna look down like, oh, I didn't do anything, but it looks like you can't handle your meat.
What's your AC?
My AC?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. 16.
16. He swings at you, but then he's just like falls on the ground.
Behold, to the group, to everyone in the room. Behold, your next town leader or speaker. Oh.
Just roll a d20 for me on this. You don't have vicious mockery, but holy hell.
Can I make my way over to the table?
Yep.
So Amoa sort of sees this and like yeah, and like the pieces kind of fall in his mind, and he walks over and grabs the casks, grabs the cask since it's still like half full. He's like, guess you guys won't be needing this anymore. He tucks it under his arm.
And they are proper sloshed, and the other ones are like, wake your butt, and they're like falling over. Let's see. One of them falls over. What are the other three doing? Oh, well, it's at disadvantage. We'll see what happens.
5-person pile up.
Two of them are still standing up, and they're like, wait, and they like grab you by the shoulders. That's ours.
Who were they grabbing by the shoulder?
Amoa, because he has the cast.
They leap on his shoulder.
Not leap on, they're like trying to catch up to him.
Oh, okay.
And they're not all dwarves. They're
oh, gotcha. I thought they were all dwarves for some reason.
Just like hanging out there. No, these two are the humans, and they like grab on the shoulders like, that's ours. And they like try and spin you around, and they try and take it from you.
I just sort of backhand one. First person that laid their hand on me. Just with like my entire weight.
Oh, roll a d20 for me, my friend. You smack them, and
3.
with a 3, but like, fucking hell. Wait for you smack him, and he doesn't fall over as much as you would hope. He kind of takes that, and then because of his off balance, he just kind of spins around and somehow still stands up. Just like his elusive form just kind of takes the attack and just like rebounds around. It's like, did you see that, Rockman? And then he tries to throw a punch at you. What's your AC?
12.
12. Tries to swing at you and just like lands onto the counter, and Steve's like, all right, we're not gonna be having no bar fights. Okay, Steve is too damn tired to be facilitating that at this hour. Shandor, take your boys. You're all a proper slosh. Get back to your fucking homes. I'm getting into Shandor's voice. You're getting into your fuck. Get back to your fucking homes. And then, hash it out into morning. But until then, Steve here, that's me, is going to close down the shop because I'm tired. All right? And you just see the other 5 just kind of gurgle like, You don't see them move.
Pathetic.
No, you're pissing.
Well,
all right. Perhaps we should all just go back to our rooms. This has been a lovely chat. It was wonderful to meet you, Shandar. I hope we all meet again soon. Let's all go. And Elspeth will kind of run up and like put a hand kind of on Renner's shoulder, a little bit like, come on, let's go.
Yes, we have to go see who sleeps first.
Quite.
And then we'll turn to Steve and say, thank you for your hospitality. And then flip him off.
Elspeth will just like shake her head and just be like mouth like, I don't know, I'm sorry at Steve.
He'll just kind of turn around after doing that. Not in a mean way, but he'll just be like, thank you. And then
Steve kind of looks like,
I take the cue.
Fish people, all right. Gives you the bird. And you two go upstairs. Donovan has just kind of been hanging around off the sides like, oh, well. Starts to make his way up. What is Amoa and Azarga doing? Azarga, you're still hidden, by the way.
Yeah. If Amoa leaves, I'll leave.
Yeah, I leave too, but I take the cask with me.
And as you two begin to make your way upstairs, you just see Steve come around from the back corner with a stick and starts just like poking and like rolling them out. It's like, all righty, yeah, now get back to your home. You're fucking done, Shanda. You're not the speaker yet. Get. I will fucking. And you 5 successfully make your way back up to the rooms.
Okay. I have no other plans for the evening.
Does anyone else have any plans?
No.
Since nobody seems to have newspapers anywhere, which is what Elspeth wants, is like information. She's just gonna drag Renner back into the other room and like stare at him until he falls asleep, so that she can study his Triton anatomy.
Mm-hmm. Amoa, anything?
No, I just.
So you drag him to bed to study his anatomy. Is that what I'm getting?
Remember, she has no people skills, so it's just her like creepily sitting on the end of the bed staring at him while he sleeps and taking notes.
Oh. Which Renner is actually normal. With his ego, he's like, yes, I'm totally fine with this, of course.
Amoa, anything you wish to?
No, he just sort of retires back in a room and sets the casks down and sort of taking stock of Azir and Donovan. Nice job.
I will fold up my blankets and then prestidigitate them so that they're warm before I go to sleep.
So there are 2 beds. Who's taking the 2 beds in that room?
I'll give that to Donovan.
I'll share with someone. I don't care.
Yeah, Amoa's actually just gonna sit cross-legged and with the cask sitting like where his crotch is, like cradling it. And he just goes into like a meditative state.
It's like wrapped around your cask.
Yeah, and just like this, like you would a piggy bank.
Like Pooh Bear with his jar of honey.
Jar of honey, yeah. Oh, it's my cask.
Oh dear. Anyway.
Yeah.
Night has already been there, but sleep comes to you all eventually. Elspeth, Renner, is it a third eyelid where it's like kind of glosses over, or is your eyes actually closed?
There's like on land there'll be like it's like a transparent one that kind of comes, you see come down over it.
And as you watch Elspeth, you notice like his eyes eventually just kind of get soft, and then you just kind of see
Oh, wonderful. So many notes, little sketches, so many notes.
Cute.
Do that for like 30 minutes, and then once I've decided that nothing else is going on, I will creeper over to the other bed and go to sleep.
Okay. Sleep finds you all. And as the night progresses, there's still a bit of a wind that is howling outside the room or the of the mead hall, but thankfully again the woods to the north cut quite a bit of the sound. Azar and Donovan, in your room, sleep finds you all right, but then you just, out of the corner of your ear, you hear a and you wake up and you notice it's the door slowly opening.
Is there any light in here, or how does the lighting situation work?
No light.
All right, I'll just cast light on anything.
Light on anything? All of a sudden, the light just illuminates the room. Amoa, you're down there with your cast. The light hits your eyes, and you look to the doorway, and you just hear a and
I'm dreaming.
I'll go after whatever it is.
Okay. You open the door, and by the time you look down the hall, you can hear it already starting to run down the stairs.
Okay.
Chase after it?
Yeah.
You give chase. And you hear a couple tables get a bit jostled as you make your way down the stairs, and some of the chairs fall down, but it didn't impede the person who's running away. You see them throw open the door outside and continue to run out.
Let's see. I'll go ahead and run to the door and look out.
You look out, and all the torches that were originally lining the streets have gone dark, and you look out. You don't see anything. You see some of the footprints that are already starting to get covered up by snow, but it's.
Which way do they lead?
Let me quickly look at a good mead map. Good mead map. Yeah, okay. So you see them go down the stairs that lead up, and then they hook a left, but by then the rest of it goes into darkness.
Do I hear anything? I mean, even like snow is crunchy when you're running through it. Do I hear them still running?
Roll perception at disadvantage because the bees are still going, as is the wind outside.
So it says 2d20 plus 4.
Damn, 19. Nice. You can still hear them, but it is getting quickly softer. And
it's just one person?
Yeah, it was one person that you can hear.
All right. I'll let him go. I'll shut the door back. I'll latch it if it latches.
It does latch. Not Are you familiar with these tools in any way, or locks in any way?
How familiar? As familiar as a normal person would be with locking.
I mean, it looks
I have
like
no
a
specific proficiency.
looks like a fine lock to you.
So I'll lock the door back then.
Mm-hmm.
Check it to make sure it actually does lock. That didn't like break the door or anything.
Didn't break, or there's no breakage. It does lock. Yeah.
All right. We go back upstairs and we can deal with this when everybody's awake.
Okay. Well, you get back upstairs and you see Donovan and Amoa still up. Your light spell, still vibrant in the room.
Mm-hmm. And is there any chairs or anything in the room?
Not really. No, it's the two beds, the kind of like little center table in between, but nothing of like a chairs. There are chairs downstairs, but nothing within here.
I'll just ask Amoa if he would just sit in front of the door.
I agree to do it. Kind of lumber over.
Lumber over.
Then I'll just go to sleep till morning. Or, waking.
I take the same sort of sitting position by the door, except this time I'm just like leaning back into it.
Yep. And you both find sleep, as does Donovan. And the night progresses. And nothing eventful else happens. Morning comes to you as much of a morning can come. It's still very dark outside as you five awake within the mead hall in Good Mead. And that's where we're going to end this afternoon.
Ooh.
Yeah. Was Mysterious Strangers. And good thing you picked the creaky door.
Perfect. Creaky doors for the win. I'm
But
curious
thank
to
you all
see
so
who will
much.
tune into next week and be like, I had a dream, I had a nightmare, I heard creaky doors for days.
There was a light in the room. I just don't know.
Is there a rhyme? Is there an Icewind Dale version of WD-40?
Yes, it's the grease spell.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Grease spell.
As speaker.
Everyone will get their doors greased. Well, yes. Thank you. It was I tried to avoid combat scenarios today just so Thomas could join in for that fun.
Oh, and we were hurting for that. We were trying to make it happen.
That is not a map I prepared.
Yeah.
I rolled really well. I was happy to not roll all my nat ones in combat. So
yeah.
But hey, we got an introduction to some of the native spirits here. Interesting architecture of Good Mead, and learning a bit more beyond just the opening quest of Sefik Cultro. So that's going to be a bit fun, trying to weave that all in there all at once. It's going to be a fun time. Hopefully it has been a fun time for you. I know I've had a fun time with these four, and thank you so much for joining us. We will be back again next Saturday. If you caught us at 2 today, just know that our new starting time is at 1:30, and we'll be ending around 4:45. Regularly for moving forward. So we'll be starting at 1:30 if you caught us at 2. Anyway, I believe that is it. There's no extra bits or raids that were mentioned. So those of you who joined us, Tamago Tora, thank you so much for the bits. You guys will have 4 for next week. But until then, remember we have Call of Cthulhu at 6, Dragon by Spire Peak on Mondays, and then Chaos Agents on Tuesdays. But until all that happens, I must wish you all a very good rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You got